All right, so 6.6, this is number one. We are dealing with similar triangles. We want to find the value of x. Okay, so looking at these two triangles, I have corresponding angles. So I know that from the diagram, if you have two angles that are the same, okay, then the third one has to be the same because the triangle adds up to be 180. So they're showing me by design that this angle measurement and this angle measurement, these are different. This is 90, this is some acute angle. And then they give me the bigger triangle, and they show me the same symbol for inside my triangle. So I have this same angle, but it tells me that these are the same, so this one has to be the same. So I'll just do a double line here. So these are similar triangles. Let me label them. This is A, B, and C. And then this is D, E, F. So from the diagram, I'll go ahead and put in everything. We have 8 here, 6, and 10. And then we have 13. And then we have X and Y. Okay, so the corresponding sides, this side to this side. So I'm going to write these pairs down. A, B is corresponding, I don't know if I want to write that same similar same notation, but this one is corresponding to D, E, and I think that's the wrong symbol, to line D, E. Let me go back and look at the correct symbol. I want to make sure I give you guys the right notation. So they just say corresponds to, and they show the proportion. So let me not do that, because this symbol means congruent, and I don't want to do that. That will be confusing. So I'm just going to say AB to DE, those two are comparing. AC to DF. So they correspond to. And then the last one we're going to say BC to EF. Okay, so these are the sides that correspond to each other. And all we need to do is set up a proportion to solve for the missing side. So I have to use the two that I know, which are AB and DE. So I'm going to put the smaller triangle on top, and it doesn't matter which way you do it. You can do small with small, or big with big, or you can do small with big and small with big. As long as you set up corresponding sides correctly. So what I mean is I'm going to compare 8 to 13. So 8 over 13. So right now I have the small triangle measure over the large triangle measure. So that means I need to also put the small triangle measure over the large. So if I want to figure out x, I'm going to put out the small triangle measure first, which is 10 corresponds to x. So 10 over x. This is one way of doing it. I could also compare this with small. So I'm going to say 8 over 10. So I'll put this one over this one, so I have to do this one over this one. It's equal to 13 over x. Both of these proportions will give us the same answer. So what we're going to do is just cross multiply and divide. So once we have the proportion set up, we're going to cross multiply and divide. So I would get, for this top one, 8x is equal to 130. And then we will divide by 8, divide by 8. And that's going to give us our answer here. So I'll put that in the calculator in just a moment. Over here, if I did that same thing, we would end up with 8x. And then 10 times 13 equals 130. So same difference. Divide by 8, divide by 8, and you end up with the same thing. So x is equal to 130 over 8. So we're going to compute this. 130 divided by 8, and we get 16.25. and it says, write your answer in reduced fraction form. Okay, so I don't want to do this. So I'm going to hit math, enter, convert this to a fraction. So 65 divided by 4. That is x. And then we're going to do something similar to find the value of y. Okay, so if I want to find y, this time I'm going to still use, and I'll do the second method. I'm going to do the small over the small. So this time I'm going to compare 8 to 6 because I want to do 13 to y. So I'm going to say, and I'll put the smaller one on top this time. So 6 over 8 is equal to y over 13. Okay, so I'm putting the corresponding sides on the top, these two guys on the bottom, and then from here to solve, all we really need to do is multiply this 6 over 8 times 13, and then we'll be left with y. So I don't actually have to cross multiply because I'll end up dividing again. So we're going to do 6 over 8 times 13 is going to be equal to y, and basically we get 3/4 over 13. Go ahead and do it by hand. Equals y. And then 3 times 13 gives us 39 divided by 4. And that will not reduce. So 39 divided by 4.